Yeah, hi peeps, it's Terse back on the old squat box again, and this is just an inane, drunken, drivel, crappy video. I'm just got drunk for back. I've not done anything on YouTube for ages apart from shitty stuff, so let's do even more drunken shitty stuff. And I was watching some programmes on TV tonight, and I happened to hear a bit of Oasis. I think it was a Britpop fucking thing. I heard some Oasis and some Blur and some, was it Swed? Is that what they were called? Fucking Swed. Swed was shite. Absolutely fucking crap, you know what I mean? They reminded me of 100 bands that never made it, you know, like 20 years before. And how the fuck Swed made it, I don't know. Perhaps the closest thing I could say about Swed would be that guy who actually made a lot of money. I can't remember his name, but he sang all about, you know, feelings and shit. I can't remember his name. No. Anyway, get past that. Okay, so Oasis, yeah. I get how people liked Oasis because they were very sort of Beatles-ish. They were like little Beatles, you know. They scurried about on stage and made loud scurrying noises, you know. But you know, the vocalisation, especially from the singer, but their music as well, was quite authentic, sort of like a 90s progression from a 60s Beatles music, you know what I mean? I don't know if you can see it. It's just the way I hear and see things, you know. Maybe it's my fucking twisted autistic brain. I've not got a twisted autistic brain. I'm just kidding on about that. But you know, it's what people say, you know, when they're trying to grasp at straws about how to, like, you know, frame shit. No, I really do think that, you know, Oasis did have like a modern Beatles sound to it. If you look back at the Beatles, I'm not talking about, you know, their later days just before they broke up or shit, you know. I'm talking about back in the early 60s when they first formed. They were making good music, you know. They were doing really good stuff, you know, good rock and roll music with fantastic lyrics, you know. And that's what Oasis started out as, and then they went all fucking arty-farty bullshit and fucked it all up. Although people kept buying the records because you'd already become a fan, and it's like, you know, you get into Coke, you know, and oh, it's fucking brilliant, oh, I fucking love this, you know, you know, and then after a while you think, you know, I don't really enjoy doing it, but you know, all my mates are still doing it, you know, so I'll just keep doing it, you know, and I'll just keep kidding on, I'm having fun, you know. That's the way Oasis went, you know. People still bought them, but you weren't having as much fun as when you first found them, you know what I mean, that sort of thing. So that's my take on Oasis and the Beatles and why I link the two of them together. Not because it's like, oh, I'm just, because the Beatles were really good. They actually progressed and moved through sequences of discovering themselves, whereas Oasis was more a sort of, they had a thing, then they became famous for that thing, and then they didn't really know how to progress with the thing, and then they ended up just arguing with each other until they fell out, and then they stopped doing the thing, you know. But people still bought their music, you know. And that's Oasis. And then you had Blur, you know. I mean, Blur reminds me of the 70s, man. Blur, fantastic fucking band. What reminds me a lot of XTC, if you don't know XTC, and that's the name of the band, XTC, right? Look up XTC, listen to some of their music online, and then tell me if you don't think that, no, the 90s version of Blur wasn't like a 90s version of XTC. I mean, the pace of the music, you know, the beats, the sort of discordant little twists and dinks, dinks, dink, you know, and tank, tank, tank of the guitar in the background, you know, that, you know. Of the vocalisation and the things they sang about when this first started out as well, Blur, you know, it was definitely XTC-ish, you know. I mean, I loved XTC when in the 70s I was a teenager. I was right into XTC. Loved all the stuff, you know. Bought every album, you know, they produced. They were fucking fantastic, you know. I really got into it. And it wasn't like, no, I was sniffing them up my nose because I liked their first album, because the first album was pretty shitty, to be honest with you. But they developed. XTC developed from what you would call now an indie band, you know, who doesn't know what they're doing, into a proper band where the albums actually got better and better. Blur, by the way, by the time they were discovered, they'd been around for a while, I think, been together for a bit, and they'd already developed before they, you know, because in the 70s there was lots of companies going out there just signing up new bands. They would just sign up like 20 new bands a fucking year, you know, and release an album from each of them. It was like throwing fucking, you know, 10 pots of fucking spaghetti that you put on the fucking heat, and you couldn't remember when you put it on. You throw it in the wall, and if it stuck, it was cooked, you know what I mean? That's basically the way that the music was in the 70s. A lot of the punk rock and new wave bands, they were just like, people were just buying them up willy-nilly, cheap as fuck, man. I mean, none of these bands made any fucking money in their first fucking 5 years of being, you know, well-known bands in the 70s, that is. A lot of them aren't even known now because they were only known for like a year, 2 years, and that was it, you know. But, you know, it was like throwing fucking spaghetti at the wall and see what one was well cooked and stuck to the wall, you know. Beneath are just to fucking bite them, you know. Is it too much uncooked in the middle? Just a little bit al dente? You know, it was all that, you know. Of course, you can't go in biting bands. I mean, okay, you can today. I mean, I think it's a law today that if you're a corporation, you can buy someone up and bite them if you want, and it's totally illegal, especially in America, you know. That's just the way that the world is today, you know. And it's becoming more and more like that in Britain as well. You know, you can just buy a person and bite them, and if you don't like them, you can throw them away. You bought and paid for them, that's it. Especially the politicians, you know. But you can even chew them up and spit them out, you know. That's fine, you know. Anyway, come back to was it Blur and XTC. I think Blur is like the 90s version of XTC. I don't even know if they're still going now, man. It's 2014. I don't even know if they're still going. But, you know, I'm just saying, you know, happened to hear that music again tonight, and it just took me back to things that I was thinking and enjoying and going through when I was, like, you know, in my teens and my 20s, you know. Through the 70s is what I'm talking about, and then into the 80s and 90s. That's, you know, after the 90s, I mean, I just got too old. I just got too old. All that going out and listening to live music just got too much, you know, just too much effort, you know. So now I just listen to all the music on the internet, which is great actually, because I know I can listen to stuff from any year in history that's ever been recorded, so long as it's been recorded and uploaded to the internet as a digital MP3 file, or MP4 or MP5, you know. Anyway, you know what I'm saying. As long as it's been uploaded into the cloud, that spasmodic fucking cloud up there that, you know, we hope never has any thunderstorms in it, because that will fuck it all up. But you know, don't want thunderstorms in your cloud. If you get thunderstorms in your cloud, you know what electricity does to data? Yeah, it scrambles it, man. You don't want that. So anyway, Blur, XTC, down pat, I think I've got that. Oasis, Beatles, from the 60s. Down pat, I think I got that. I'm not talking about the personalities, I'm just talking about how I rationalise in my head the music, you know, the sort of the patterns of the drum beats, the rhythm, the guitar, you know, the little flurries of bits and pieces they put in and the vocalisations, you know. Yeah, it's almost like sitting in a forest in, I don't know, Papua New Guinea, you know, and you hear animals chirping and screeching at each other. You can make music out of that as well. I mean, well, I haven't done that in Papua New Guinea, but I've done it in like Scotland and England and fucking, you know, France, you know, Germany. I've sat, you know, in woods and heard all the wee animals and birds and critters, what, chirping and making their music, and it all makes sense, and it makes there's a different pattern to it in those different countries. A lot of people think, oh, just birds twittering and tweeting and acting like it's the same anyway, but it's not. It's fucking not. And even the bug sounds, the chirps and twitters and scratching noises that bugs make in different countries, it's completely different from one country to another. I don't know so much that it's one country to another, it's maybe different seasons and different places, you know, different sort of temperatures, or, you know, you could say, you know, biospheres, you know, different biospheres, you know, because I mean, we call the Scottish biosphere, you know, the wet, dry, drizzly, damp, sometimes warm, mostly windy, you know, but you know, that's completely different from, say, the south of England at the same time of year, and it's different from Jamaica, it's different from South America, it's different from North America, Canada, Africa, you know, anywhere you go, any time of the year, you're going to see, hear and smell and, you know, sense different things, you know. I think I'm rambling, aren't I? Yeah, fuck, I've been rambling for about fucking 30 years, I fucking think. Anyway, Slangy fucking family, welcome to another Rambley fucking tersse video. Slangy fucking man, I hope you've enjoyed it. It's been another Rambley tersse video about stuff. Drunken stuff. Cheers. Yeah. Slangy fucking bad. Don't give up the fight.